All right, I'm joined here by Michael Head, one half of the main event for the South African title, light heavyweight against Brian Taser. How are you feeling going into this battle?
Yes, Hayden, thank you for having me. Feeling good, it's obviously a big title fight ahead of me. Been training hard for it and looking forward to it,
Brian Taser, you guys obviously shared the ring a long time ago. You had a sabbatical in your career as well. Revisiting it now, I mentioned I did an interview with Brian Taser. From the outside, it looks like he's the favorite going into this fight based on what I've just said there. How do you take it?
Look, he's definitely the favorite. I'm definitely the underdog. But that kind of motivates me a lot more to work harder and, put on a show and maybe a bit of an upset as well. So it is quite motivating. And obviously the first time we shared the ring was only 4 rounds. Now we're sharing the ring for a 12-round title fight, which also makes a bit of a difference too. So it'll be interesting to see how things go this time.
Well, what's important in this fight? Is it the fitness, 12 rounds, as we mentioned before, seeing through dark periods and, seeing those later rounds? Or do you think there's something early on that you've identified that maybe you can stop him?
To be honest, a fight is a fight, it can go any way. It just all depends on, one punch can change everything. That's how boxing is. There's nothing that I'm really predicting. I'm just going to come there fit and ready to do 12 rounds if I have to. If that's what it goes to, then I'll be ready for that. So, yeah.
The fact that you've shared the ring with him before, does that give any advantages to either of you?
I wouldn't really say an advantage, but to an extent we know what to expect. And obviously, if you look at our first fight, it was a tough fight. So that's what I'm expecting again. It was actually a war, so I'm pretty much ready for a war again if that's what it comes to. So I wouldn't really say it gives an advantage, maybe to an extent because boxers, they don't really change in like their background sort of stays with them to an extent. So that's the way that I obviously see it. But yeah.
Let's talk about the time that you guys trained together before you went professional. What was that time like, and did you guys bond and have a friendship before?
Yeah, so, me and Brian have never really had any beef or any issues. We didn't really train together, but we did spar together quite a bit in our amateur days. He had obviously a bit of a bigger amateur career than me, or a lot bigger, but I was helping him for sparring in his amateur days, and he was coming to my previous gym and we were sparring there, and then eventually we actually had the same amateur coach. So, even one of my amateur fights, Brian was in my corner, like, giving me advice or whatever. So this is the thing about boxing, like, you can be friends and then next minute you're fighting each other. So, yeah, it's tough, but it is what it is.
And just judging on all that friendship going in, obviously it changes when you get in the ring. But what can you do to separate the two between friendship and business? How do you mentally separate the two?
Well, we know what the task is at hand. We're going there to fight. We're not going there to show everyone that we're friends in the ring. And if you look back at our first fight, you can tell that we know how to separate friendship and business. So, yeah, we know how to put on a show.
So we're expecting another classic coming into this one?
Well, hopefully. I like to put an entertaining fight on if you look at my previous fights. I like it to be tough because at the end of the day, people don't want to watch a boring fight. So we're there to put seats in bums and sell tickets. So, yeah.
Hopefully we're putting bums in seats, not the other way around.
Other way around.
That's a bit concerning. What he did mention is that he has that ambition of winning the SA title solely based on the fact that his father and his brother have both done that, so he wants to match them. What's your ambition for the SA title?
I think for me, no one in my family has ever done something like this. So, I come from humble beginnings. It will mean a lot to me as well, especially because I haven't had anyone to look up to in this sort of sport. And I've achieved this basically, I don't want to say on my own, but it is mostly on my own. I have worked hard to get where I am. So it'll mean a lot to me at the end of the day, which is the most important thing. I'm doing this for myself.
You mentioned in an interview that we did with IME that you did take a sabbatical to work on the ships, the boats, and you obviously needed the finances at the time and to come back into the sport of boxing. What did that time take out of your career, or what did it lean towards your career? How would you assess that time?
To be honest, It obviously didn't really benefit my boxing career much, but it was one of the best experiences in my life, to be honest, to be able to travel and, see some of the world. And while I was that side, I did train in a boxing gym in Coach, I think it was Carter Park Boxing Gym. That's what it's called. So shout out to Coach Ryan Perez and all the sparring partners. Actually, shout out to Jeremy Pitbull Smith. He put me in touch with those guys, and I was also putting in sparring there with some very good boxers and BKFC fighters. So it was very interesting and all around really good experience. And also, with that being said, the finances to come back into this, if I didn't go overseas and do that, I wouldn't be where I'm at now, because one of my sponsors that are helping make this possible, shout out to Mr. Jason Butler from south of Florida, from the Palm Beach Fuel Barge, which was one of the boats that I actually worked on, and I'm grateful for him, because if I didn't go and do that, I wouldn't have had this opportunity that I'm having now. So yeah.
It's amazing who you can meet when you travel around the world. When we speak about that sparring sessions in the United States compared to here, what is the difference for you?
So I actually sparred a really good prospect, or two prospects there. It's Bryce Henry and Bobby Henry. If you go check them out, they're very good fighters. But not just them, all the guys that I put sparring in with, they're all very good. It's a very good team. If you go look at Ryan Perez's team, they're all good boxers. But I mean, it is obviously not much different. They have good fighters in their country. We also have good fighters in our country. So I can't really say it was a big difference, but it was just very interesting to, dabble in both countries in sparring, yeah.
And when you came back to South Africa, was your heart set on trying to make this professional boxing career work?
100%. It's the only reason I actually came back, because when Golden Gloves said they're putting on the 4 at War and they're putting the SO title on the line, it was the only reason I came back. I didn't come back for any other reason, so definitely that's why I'm here.
And when you guys, obviously you went through the semi-final process, you in the final now, is this going to be the harder fight out of the two fights that you would have had?
Definitely. Also because I've obviously lost to Brian before, so there's a lot more to prove. And I think he is obviously a tougher opponent than Bongi. He's undefeated in the light heavyweight division as well. So it's not an easy task, It's going to be difficult, but that's obviously what we're preparing for.
I mentioned as well to Charlton, when two fights fall off of a tournament and you now become the main event, there's a lot of attention, that sort of spotlight that jumps on you. How have you taken that in?
To be honest, it hasn't really sunk in. To me, it doesn't make a difference if I'm fighting first or last or whatever. I'm coming there to fight at the end of the day. People are still going to watch you fight, whether you're the first fight or the last fight. Spotlight, I mean, pressure builds diamonds, so, it's not going to make much of a difference to me, so yeah.
All right, and how do you see this fight playing out?
Look, God willing, I get the victory. That's all I'm pushing for. I'm not going to give a prediction. I don't like to speak much with my mouth. I prefer to talk in the ring with my hands. So I'm not going to make any decisions beforehand or say anything crazy, but I know it'll be a good fight and I'm coming to put on a show. That's all you can expect.
What do you make of, I did an interview with Brian first,
Sure.
and he said he's going to knock you out.
Sure.
What is your thoughts on that?
Well, if that's what he's going to do, he must come do it, because no one has been able to do it so far, and I don't think he'll be the one. He had his opportunity in our first fight and he couldn't finish the deal, so good luck to him.
All right, we look forward to an amazing fight on Supersport at Empress Palace on October the 4th. Michael Head comes up against Brian Taser in an SA title fight. Can't wait for it. Any comments for Brian before you get in the ring with him?
I think I've already said it. Just good luck to him and his team. Hope your preparation is going well. That's it. And yeah.
Very humble response there. And Michael, just lastly, do you want to send any thank yous, any shout outs to anybody?
Yeah, definitely. So just want to say a big thank you again to Mr. Jason Butler, Palm Beach Fuel Barge in south of Florida, for sponsoring me. And also someone that just recently came on board to sponsoring my kit. So thanks to LSG Machine Tools, Uncle Leo, thank you to you. In the sports, it's very difficult to go far without sponsors, and that's one thing we struggle to get. So anyone that helps, I really appreciate. And just thank you to my team and everyone that's put in effort to, get me to where I am in this fight or this fight that's coming up. And yeah, that's a thank you to you as well for being here.